Hi, my name is Perry Ennis. Thank you for coming to YouTube and viewing this, our third teaching in a series of 7 that we're doing, with summaries about this book that I've written. The name of the book is Prepare for the Coming of Messiah, subtitle, A Message of Love, Restoration, Warning, and Hope. At the bottom of the screen you can see the address for our website. I encourage you to go there and learn more about the book and the teachings about end-time prophecies and Hebraic roots and what we offer there. Again, thank you for your time in viewing this video. I'm going to continue now with this third lesson and talk about the plan of redemption. In lesson 2 that I gave, I was helping the viewers to understand about the fall of mankind and the separation of Adam and Eve and the human race because of sin that was introduced when they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the Garden of Eden, and they were cast out. And so this caused a separation from our Creator Yahweh and the humans that He had created and loved. And so Almighty Yahweh in His master plan made a way that human beings, when they commit sin, and all of us do, we're born in this world with a sin nature. We can't help it. And so we all have a sin debt to pay. And we really can't pay our sin debt. There's nothing that we can do in our way of works to work off our debt. So we're really in a very difficult situation in that regard. But our Creator is very merciful and loving and kind. And even when He cast Adam and Eve out of the garden, He slaughtered animals and He made skins from the animals for their clothing so that they would have a way to cover themselves. And so this was kind of a sign of sacrificing that He would establish with the people on earth. And He began a covenant after Noah with Abraham. And with Abraham He promised him that out of his loins and through the reproduction through his wife, that there would be many, many multitudes and millions of children, as many as the stars in the sky and the sand upon the sea. And He chose Abraham to be the father of the Israelite nation, so to speak. And in doing so, He began to establish covenants. And covenants are very important. Our Creator, He is a covenant Creator, and He desires to have relationship with the human beings that He's created on this earth. And so He created a way and initiated a way for human beings to have forgiveness and covering for their sins. It says in Leviticus chapter 17 verse 11, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement for your soul." So that our souls can be saved, so that our sins can be forgiven. So Almighty Yahweh initiated the service and ceremony ritual of animal sacrifice. The people would raise animals because they were herdsmen and farmers, and so it took a lot of hard work to raise an animal, and the animal that was brought forward as a sacrifice had to be an animal that was perfect. It needed to be an animal without blemish, and often it was a lamb. It could be a goat. In other parts of the service, it could be a bull, a cow. And so this was a great sacrifice, and it helped the people to think about what they were doing. He initiated this type of animal sacrifice service so that the people would have to give up something from themselves that was dear. And also, the spreading of the blood and the sprinkling of the blood. The life is in the blood. And so He required that there be a sprinkling of blood to cover the people's sins. And all this was a foundation principle that He was laying and helping the people understand for even greater thing that He was going to do later. I'm going to read this set of verses here in Hebrews. This is from what we call the New Testament. Hebrews chapter 9 verses 19 through 20 and 22. "For when every commandment had been told to all the people by Moses in accordance with the law, he took the blood of calves and goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop, and sprinkled both the scroll itself and all the people, saying, This is the blood of the covenant of God has ordained for you, and without the shedding of blood there is no forgiveness of sin." Some of you may be familiar that are watching this video with the story of Moses and the exodus of the Israelite people out of the land of Egypt after they had been in captivity and had been slaves for approximately 400 years. Well, after miraculous miracles that Almighty Yahweh did to help them escape from the Egyptian army, He parted the Red Sea. Huge amounts of waters piled up on either side, and they walked across on dry land. And then when the Egyptian army came chasing them to kill them, they were trapped when the water came down on top of them. Archaeologists have now found in the Gulf of Aqaba Egyptian chariot wheels that are from that era and from those particular pharaohs' insignia and identification that ties those relics that were found in that area of the body of water and connects them to the Egyptians at that time. And so that's strong proof that these are actually chariot wheels from the soldiers that were chasing the Israelites as they were leaving the land of Egypt and coming into the land of promise that Almighty Yahweh had provided for them. And so Moses was the chosen prophet and leader that Almighty Yahweh had trained and entered into covenant with and sent him to Egypt to be the great deliverer of his people. And so through Moses he initiated the traditional and processes of sacrificing animals for the atonement of the people's sins. And so this was important that the people would understand what Almighty Yahweh was doing through these animal sacrifices, and that they were in covenant with Him. This was a way that they could be in relationship with Him. And that's what our Creator is trying to help all of us to do and help us to understand is He wants to be in relationship with us. He wants to be real in our lives, to be personal, to have impact in our lives, to bless us, to help us understand that all blessings come from Him, that salvation comes from Him. And He's not interested in religion. He is interested in relationship. So He laid the foundation of the animal sacrifices to help prepare future generations for another way that He was going to even improve on the animal sacrifice system that He had initiated through Moses. Well, this concludes our third teaching, and again I thank you for coming to YouTube to watch and listen to these videos that we're producing, and I encourage you to come back for teaching number 4. There'll be more good information from the understanding and revelation from the Holy Scriptures. Again, thank you very much for your time. Yahweh bless you and keep you. Shalom.